This video covers how to create a marked assessment in Academy. Marked assessments allow learners to submit responses for marking by a facilitator or coordinator. These assessments can include written short response questions requiring manual marking, as well as auto-marked multiple choice questions. To create a marked assessment, create a new learning object and select Marked Assessment from the Assessments tab. This opens the Assessment Builder. The Settings tab contains the main configuration of your assessment. The title and description will appear on the program content page. Under Completion Requirement, you can select if your assessment will be required or optional. Assessment type has two options. Quiz allows only multiple choice questions marked automatically by the system. Assessment allows both multiple choice and short answer questions. Multiple choice questions are marked automatically, while short response questions require human marking. Under Assessor for written questions, select which roles are responsible for assessing written questions. This can be assigned to facilitator, coach, or coordinator roles. Learner Attempts has three options. Unlimited until passed lets learners reattempt as many times as needed to pass. Single attempt gives them just one try. Limited number of attempts lets you specify exactly how many attempts they get. Resume rules determine what happens if learners exit partway through. Resume from the next question lets them continue where they left off. Start new attempt makes them start from the beginning. Toggle group questions by topic area to organise your assessment into multiple topics. Topics can also present scenarios or case studies before asking questions. Your options under pass criteria will depend on whether or not you've enabled topics. Pass assessment requires meeting the score benchmark across the entire assessment. Pass each topic and pass assessment requires passing both the overall assessment and an individual topic. Pass each topic requires passing each topic individually to pass the assessment as a whole. The Introduction tab sets instructions that display before the assessment starts. Academy provides default instructions for each option, which you can modify. These instructions appear on the first screen learners see. Be sure to turn off any instructions that don't apply to your assessment. If your assessment uses topics, you can configure them here. This tab will only appear if you've enabled topics. For each topic, set the topic title that displays to learners. Question pooling randomizes questions asked. You might create 10 questions but only ask 5, with the 5 questions randomly selected for each learner. Number asked sets how many questions to ask in each topic. If question pooling is disabled, this will be the total number of questions in the topic. Points per question lets you weight questions in one topic more heavily than another. The Questions tab is where you add your assessment questions. Multiple choice select one means there's only one correct option. Multiple choice select many requires learners to find multiple correct options. They must select all correct options to be marked as correct. Single written response is for questions with only one part. Multi-part written response handles questions with multiple components. If you enable the case study option, you can add text, images, and resources to the topic, then ask questions about that content. The case study information will display above each question in that topic. For short response questions, you can also include marking criteria to assist the assessor. In the Grading tab, set successful and unsuccessful outcomes for the assessment. You can have multiple successful outcomes, like exceeds expectations and pass, but only one unsuccessful outcome. Add a title for each outcome, set the points needed to achieve it, and write some feedback for learners who reach that outcome. The final tab controls what learners see upon completing the assessment. Show overall outcome and score to learner can be set to on completion, to display the learner's outcome and score when they finish. Show topic outcomes to learner can be on completion to always show topic outcomes, or if passed, to only show them if the learner passes. Show question outcomes to learner has several options. On completion, always shows question outcomes. Question outcome only shows whether each question was correct or incorrect. Question response details shows both the learner's answer and the correct answer. If passed, shows question outcomes only for successful attempts. And finally, hide outcome prevents learners from seeing individual question results. Once you've completed your assessment setup, you can preview it from the program edit screen to test how it works. One critical point. After learners have accessed your program and started submitting assessment attempts, you can no longer edit most of the assessment settings. Make sure everything is configured correctly before launching. That covers how to create a marked assessment in Academy.